All right, welcome to the deep dive.
Hmm.
Today, we're diving into the world of eye care.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but not your typical trip to the eye doctor.
Okay.
We're talking VR headsets, AI, the whole shebang.
Sounds futuristic.
It is. And our guide for this journey is an investment memo
From.
from Allied Venture Partners.
Gotcha.
They're pretty pumped about this company called RetinaLogik.
RetinaLogik. What's got them so excited?
Well, they think RetinaLogik are going to revolutionize eye exams as we know them.
Really?
Yeah.
So no more of those clunky machines and the puff of air.
Uh-huh, exactly.
That air puff always gets me.
Me too. Okay, so let's start with the problem.
Okay.
Think about your last eye exam.
Oh, I'd rather not.
Right. It's not exactly a fun experience.
No, not really. It's kind of time consuming too.
Oh, totally. And expensive.
Expensive for who?
Everyone. The clinics, the patients, everybody.
Hmm.
Allied Venture Partners laid it all out. Those big eye exam machines, they can cost clinics over $90,000 a pop.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
And then you've got the waiting, the different tests, the dilation.
Yeah.
All that inefficiency adds up to a crazy amount of lost revenue.
Like, how much are we talking?
Staggering $4 billion every year in North America alone.
Billion. Wow.
Yeah, it's a big problem that RetinaLogik is trying to solve.
Okay, so how are they doing that? How does this whole VR and AI thing actually work for eye exams?
Right, so picture this. You put on a VR headset.
Like the ones for gaming.
Yep, pretty much.
Cool.
And suddenly you're transported to a virtual world designed specifically for eye testing.
Oh, that's interesting.
No more staring at a boring eye chart on the wall.
Yeah, good riddance.
You might find yourself in a hot air balloon, identifying objects in the distance to test your visual acuity.
Uh-huh. That's a much better view.
Right. Or maybe you're navigating a virtual obstacle course.
An obstacle course.
Yeah, testing your peripheral vision and depth perception.
That's so cool.
It's like gamifying the whole eye exam experience.
Sounds way more fun than the traditional way.
Totally.
But wait, where does the AI come in?
So the AI is working behind the scenes, analyzing your responses in real time,
Oh.
picking up on subtle patterns and potential issues that a human eye might miss.
So it's like having a super-powered eye doctor right there with you in the virtual world.
Exactly. Guiding you through the whole thing, making sure nothing gets overlooked.
Gets impressive.
It is, right. And because it uses those off-the-shelf VR headsets, it's way more accessible and affordable for clinics to adopt.
Yeah, makes sense. Those specialized machines are ridiculously expensive.
Right. So clinics save money, patients get a more engaging exam. It's a win-win.
Totally.
Now, Allied Venture Partners is also really impressed with the team behind RetinaLogik,
Yeah, who are these people?
especially the CEO and co-founder, Dr. Abed Sarhan.
Okay.
He's got this unique blend of technical chops and real-world experience.
What do you mean?
So he's got a PhD in computer science, focused on machine learning, and get this, glaucoma detection.
Wow. Impressive.
But he's not just an academic. He's also worked as a full-stack developer and data scientist.
So he knows how to build stuff and put it into practice.
Exactly. He understands both the science and the how-tos.
Okay, so you've got a great team, a potentially game-changing technology. But why is Allied Venture Partners so convinced that this is going to be a massive success?
Well, they see RetinaLogik as hitting this sweet spot, where a bunch of trends are all converging.
What kind of trends?
You've got the vision care market itself. It's already huge, and it's projected to keep growing like crazy.
Okay, yeah, the vision care market makes sense.
Right. And then you've got the increasing adoption of VR, especially with new, more user-friendly headsets coming out all the time.
True. VR is definitely becoming more mainstream.
And of course, you can't forget the AI and machine learning explosion.
Yeah, that's powering everything these days.
It's like all these forces are aligning perfectly for RetinaLogik.
So it's not just about the technology itself, but also the timing.
Exactly. It's the right technology at the right time.
Makes sense. But what about actual results? Have they been able to put this all into practice?
Oh yeah, they got some impressive numbers.
Make what?
Since launching in September 2023, they've already done thousands of eye exams.
Thousands. Wow. That's pretty impressive for a new company.
Right. And they've secured hundreds of enterprise software subscriptions.
Okay, so clinics are buying in.
Yeah. And they're seeing consistent revenue growth.
Consistent, as in?
Like 25% month over month.
That's huge.
And with a 30-day sales cycle, meaning it doesn't take long to convince clinics to sign up.
So they're closing deals quickly.
Yep. And here's the kicker. Zero churn.
Zero churn. So once a clinic starts using RetinaLogik, they stick with it.
Exactly. That's a pretty strong vote of confidence.
Yeah, it is. But what about the patients? Are they actually happy with this new way of getting their eyes checked?
Oh yeah, 95% patient satisfaction rate.
95%. That's incredible. So they're not just tolerating it, they actually prefer it.
It seems so. Now, of course, there's always the question of competition.
Right. Are there other companies trying to do something similar?
That's where their intellectual property comes in. They've got this unique software subscription model.
Okay.
Plus, their ability to work with those off-the-shelf VR headsets,
Hmm.
and they have the medical licensing for distribution.
So they've got a head start.
Yeah, they're not just innovating, they're building a moat around their business.
That's smart. But it sounds like Allied Venture Partners thinks RetinaLogik is about more than just making eye exams more efficient and enjoyable.
Right.
They see this as potentially changing the entire landscape of eye care.
Exactly. It's not just about tweaking the existing system.
Yeah.
It's about a fundamental shift in how eye care is delivered and accessed.
So potentially a global impact.
Think about it. With a VR headset and an internet connection, anyone, anywhere, could get a high-quality eye exam.
Wow. That's really something.
It could be a game changer, especially for folks in underserved communities.
Absolutely, especially in rural areas or developing countries where access to specialists is limited.
That's right. And it's not just about access, it's about early detection and prevention, too.
Because the AI is analyzing everything.
Exactly. It could pick up on subtle signs of eye disease that might be missed with the traditional methods,
So early diagnosis and treatment?
leading to better outcomes and potentially preventing vision loss down the road.
This is starting to sound like a whole lot more than just a cool new gadget.
It really is.
Yeah.
But let's maybe take a pause here. And
Yeah, a pause might be good. I mean, we've talked about a lot already.
yeah, we have. From those clunky old eye exam machines
Right.
to RetinaLogik's super cool VR and AI solution.
And Allied Venture Partners clearly thinks they're onto something big.
Oh yeah, they're betting big on RetinaLogik.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth taking a step back. You know?
Okay.
Like, what does this all actually mean? Is this just about, making eye exams a bit more fun? Or is there something bigger going on here?
I think it's definitely about more than just fun. I mean, sure, the patient experience is important, but RetinaLogik could really change things.
In what way?
Well, think about access to eye care.
Okay.
This tech could make a huge difference for people in underserved communities.
Yeah, the folks who don't have easy access to specialists or maybe can't afford those pricey traditional exams.
Exactly. Imagine a world where all you need is a VR headset and an internet connection to get a thorough eye exam.
That would be incredible.
It would, right?
It's like taking those expensive machines and putting all that power into something that's portable and relatively affordable.
Exactly. And that kind of accessibility could really boost global eye health.
Yeah, especially when you think about early detection and treatment of eye conditions.
Right. Preventing vision loss before it even starts.
So we're not just talking about like small improvements here.
Not at all.
We're talking about a potential paradigm shift in how eye care is delivered around the world.
Exactly. And let's not forget about the potential cost savings.
Oh, right. If RetinaLogik can replace a good chunk of those traditional eye exams.
That's a lot of money saved for clinics and patients.
Money that could then be reinvested into research, or development, or making eye care more affordable for everyone.
Exactly. It's like a ripple effect of positive change.
So it sounds like a win-win for everyone involved. But where do we go from here? What's next for RetinaLogik and for the whole field of eye care?
Well, Allied Venture Partners seems to think RetinaLogik is going to grow really fast. They're predicting rapid expansion.
They must see a lot of potential.
They do. But honestly, I think the most exciting part is what this could mean for healthcare in general.
Ooh, okay. I like where this is going.
If VR and AI can shake up something as established as eye exams, well, what else could they change?
What other areas of medicine could benefit from this kind of tech?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is. It's like we're just starting to explore the possibilities.
Exactly. I believe this deep dive shows us that RetinaLogik isn't just a company, it's a sign of what's coming.
A sign of what the future of healthcare could look like.
Exactly. A future where technology empowers everyone and leads to a healthier world.
I like that. Okay, so this has been pretty mind-blowing so far. But before we run off into the future all starry-eyed, let's do a quick recap of what we've learned about RetinaLogik.
Okay, sounds good.
So we started with the downsides of those traditional eye exams.
The costs, the inefficiency.
Oh, and let's not forget how uncomfortable they can be.
Yeah, no one enjoys that.
And then we talked about how RetinaLogik is using VR and AI to create a whole new experience.
An experience that's more engaging and efficient.
And potentially more accurate.
Right, because of the AI analysis.
We also dove into the credentials of their leadership team.
Dr. Sarhan, with his impressive mix of technical expertise and hands-on experience.
And we talked about how all the stars seem to be aligning for RetinaLogik.
The growing vision care market, the rise of VR, the explosion of AI, it's like the perfect storm.
And their early traction is pretty remarkable, too.
Thousands of exams, strong revenue growth, high patient satisfaction, and that zero churn rate. They're definitely doing something right.
Yeah, it seems like they found a winning formula. But let's maybe shift gears a little bit and think about some of the bigger questions that this technology raises.
Okay, like what?
One thing that's been on my mind is the potential impact on eye care professionals themselves.
Yeah, that's a good point. If more and more eye exams are being done with VR and AI, what does that mean for optometrists and ophthalmologists?
Exactly. Do they become obsolete?
I don't think anyone believes VR and AI will completely replace eye care professionals.
No, I don't think so either. But it's got to change the way they work, right?
Oh, absolutely. For one, they'll likely have access to way more data thanks to the AI analysis.
So instead of just looking at the eye chart, they'll have all this extra information to work with.
Precisely. Imagine being able to spot those tiny patterns in a patient's eye health that you might have missed with the traditional exam.
That could lead to earlier diagnosis and more personalized treatment plans.
Exactly. It's like AI becomes this powerful tool that helps eye care professionals do their jobs even better.
It's not about replacing human expertise. It's about enhancing it.
That's a good way to put it. And it's also possible that VR and AI could free up eye care professionals to focus on the more human aspects of care.
Oh, yeah, like spending more time with patients, talking to them about their concerns, educating them about their eye health, building relationships.
Exactly. It's like the technology handles the more routine stuff.
And the doctors can focus on the things that really require that human touch.
I like that. But of course, no new technology is without its potential downsides.
Right. Are there any risks or challenges that we should be thinking about with this shift towards VR and AI in eye care?
Well, one obvious concern is data privacy and security.
Yeah, we're dealing with people's health information here. That's sensitive stuff.
It is. We need to make sure that data is protected and used responsibly. There's no room for error there.
Absolutely. And what about regulation and oversight?
That's another big one. How do we make sure these AI systems are accurate and reliable?
Yeah, who's responsible if something goes wrong?
These are all really important questions, and they'll need to be addressed as this technology becomes more common. We need clear guidelines and regulations to ensure VR and AI in eye care are used safely and ethically.
So it's not just about the tech itself,
Right.
but about building the right framework around it.
Exactly. We need to be thoughtful and responsible in how we implement this technology.
Makes sense. Another question that's been on my mind is the potential impact on cost.
Ah, yes, the affordability factor.
One of the big selling points of RetinaLogik is that it could make eye exams more affordable.
Right, because clinics wouldn't need to buy those pricey machines.
But will those savings actually be passed on to patients?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is. It'll be interesting to see how pricing evolves as this tech becomes more mainstream.
Yeah, for sure.
But even if the cost of an individual eye exam doesn't drop dramatically,
Right.
there could still be savings in other areas. Like if we can catch eye diseases earlier through AI analysis.
Ah, you're thinking about preventing those more expensive treatments down the line.
Exactly. So it's not just about the upfront cost of an exam.
It's about the overall cost of eye care throughout a person's life.
Right. If we can prevent vision loss or slow down the progression of eye diseases, we could save a ton of money in the long run.
Absolutely. Early detection and intervention are key, not just in eye care, but in all areas of healthcare.
So it seems like there's a lot of potential for VR and AI to really transform eye care in positive ways.
I agree.
But there are also some big questions and challenges that need to be addressed.
For sure. It's a complex landscape.
It is. But I think it's safe to say that this technology is going to have a major impact on the industry. It's not a question of if, but when and how.
Couldn't agree more. And it's a good reminder that healthcare is constantly evolving.
Yeah, new technologies are always emerging and changing the game.
Exactly. We need to be ready to embrace those changes while also thinking carefully about the potential risks and challenges.
Well said. This has been a fascinating deep dive into the world of VR, AI, and the future of eye care.
I've enjoyed it. It's always exciting to explore these cutting-edge topics.
It is. But before we wrap things up, I want to get your take on one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny, this whole conversation about RetinaLogik and eye exams, it's got me thinking, you know,
Not that.
like if this tech can change something is, I don't know, as routine as an eye exam, what else could be next?
Hmm. What other areas of healthcare could benefit from this VR and AI combo?
Yeah, exactly. Like what's ripe for disruption?
Well, the possibilities are pretty vast. I
Yeah.
think we're just scratching the surface here.
Okay, give me some examples.
Okay. How about physical therapy?
Oh, interesting.
Instead of, those repetitive exercises at a plain old clinic,
Yeah.
you could have patients immersed in these virtual environments.
Mm.
Make rehab more engaging and fun.
Right, make it feel like less of a chore.
Exactly. And you could even tailor the virtual environment to each patient's needs.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Someone recovering from a knee injury could, I don't know, play virtual soccer, while someone rehabbing a shoulder injury could try virtual rock climbing.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. The possibilities are kind of endless.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing.
And it's not just about making therapy more enjoyable either.
No.
No, that virtual environment could be collecting tons of data
Data.
on the patient's movements, their range of motion, how much progress they're making, even their pain levels, all in real time.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
And then you can use all that data to really personalize their treatment plan and track their recovery super precisely.
So it's like taking all the best parts of physical therapy
Yeah,
and combining it with the fun and engagement of a video game.
exactly.
I love that. But what about something like mental health? Could VR and AI play a role there too?
Oh, absolutely. VR could be incredibly helpful for mental health treatment.
In what way?
Well, imagine virtual reality experiences that are designed to help people manage anxiety or phobias.
Mm.
You could create these safe and controlled environments for exposure therapy.
Exposure therapy.
Yeah, so like someone with a fear of public speaking,
Okay.
they could practice giving a presentation to a virtual audience.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Right, it's like a low-stakes way to confront those fears and build confidence.
And because it's virtual, there's no real-world consequences if things go wrong.
Exactly. And with AI, you can monitor their responses, adjust the experience, make it really effective.
So it's like having a personalized therapist right there with you in the virtual world.
Yeah, kind of. And don't underestimate the potential for remote mental health care.
Oh, right.
No.
Like people in rural areas or who can't afford traditional therapy.
VR could connect them with therapists and support groups no matter where they are.
Wow, that could really break down barriers to mental health care.
Yeah, it could be a game changer for access to mental health services.
I'm starting to see that VR and AI are more than just cool gadgets.
Definitely.
They're tools that can actually make healthcare more accessible and personalized and effective for everyone.
I think that's the key takeaway here.
Yeah, and it's pretty exciting to think about all the possibilities.
It is, and we haven't even touched on the potential for medical education and training.
Oh, right, like what?
Surgeons practicing complex procedures in a virtual operating room.
Wow. So they can hone their skills without any risk to a real patient.
Exactly. Or doctors, nurses, other healthcare professionals, they could all benefit from these immersive VR training experiences.
It could really revolutionize medical education.
And potentially lead to better outcomes for patients down the road.
Yeah, because better trained healthcare providers means better care for everyone.
Exactly. And as the technology gets even better, I think we'll see even more amazing applications. We're just at the beginning of this journey.
This has been eye-opening, no pun intended.
Uh-huh.
But I think it's important to talk about some of the potential challenges too.
Okay, like what?
Well, one thing that worries me is the cost.
Yeah, VR headsets are getting cheaper, but they're still not accessible to everyone.
Right. How do we make sure this technology doesn't just benefit the wealthy or those who live in areas with good internet access?
That's a really important point. We don't want to create a digital divide in healthcare.
Exactly. We need to make sure everyone can benefit from these advancements.
I agree. And that might require things like government subsidies or partnerships with community organizations to make VR more accessible.
Yeah, we need to be intentional about making sure this tech reaches everyone who needs it.
Absolutely. And then, of course, there's data privacy and security.
Right, that's always a concern with new technology, especially in healthcare.
We've got to protect people's health information.
It's not just about the cool factor, it's about ethics and responsibility.
I completely agree. And that's where robust regulations and safeguards are crucial.
And what about regulation in general?
Right. As AI plays a bigger role in healthcare, we need to make sure these systems are accurate, reliable, and unbiased.
Yeah, we can't just blindly trust the algorithms. There needs to be human oversight and accountability.
Well said. It's a complex landscape with a lot of moving parts.
It is, but it's also full of incredible potential. I'm excited to see how this all unfolds.
Me too. It's a fascinating time to be following healthcare and technology.
Well, this has been a truly amazing deep dive. We've learned so much about RetinaLogik, VR, AI, and the future of healthcare.
It's been great talking about all of this with you.
I agree. I think the big takeaway here is that we're on the verge of a revolution in healthcare. VR and AI have the potential to change everything, from how we diagnose and treat diseases to how we train the next generation of medical professionals. It's a time of incredible innovation, but we also need to proceed with caution. We've got to make sure these technologies are used ethically and responsibly for the benefit of everyone. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the future of healthcare. Until next time, stay curious.